It's now and Rich. And our next guest played 14 years in the NBA. Let's welcome Mike Bibby.
How you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. Hey, listen, you see all these guys down in Orlando in the bubble. You're doing your thing. How do you feel about bubble life? How do you see this all playing out?
The bubble life, what the NBA is doing looks a little bit more funner than what we have going on over here. We can't leave the hotel. I mean, they're at a resort. We're at probably a 40-room hotel. You know, can't leave. Just play cards all night. They are at Disney World, get to fish, get to do all this stuff that they want to do and have fun. I didn't think I was going to be able to make it through these 12 days. And, I kind of get used to it. You end up playing cards with the guys, having fun, talking with guys that you haven't, really seen in a while, and just hanging with guys, it's fun.
Hey, Mike, out of those 14 years in the NBA, you played in Atlanta for a while. So I got to ask you, are those wings that Lou Williams got really that good? Those lemon pepper barbecue, is it really worth it?
I don't know. I've never been there before, so I don't know. But I've heard that people go there for the food, like they go there to the strip clubs out there and just go for dinner. So I've heard that. I've never been, so but it's him. He's a grown man. He makes decisions. That's a decision he felt like he had made. Go there for a personal reason. And, like you say, he stopped to get something to eat. You can't, no one else could sit there and tell him what he stopped to do.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. The wings look good. Maybe he got some
They did look good.
You know what, though? I'm just shocked that you never been there. We were there for one night in Atlanta, and Rich made it a point to definitely stop by.
No, I was there for Ja. I was there working, So my main thing was that I had to make sure that, I'm the oldest guy on the team. I can't go out there and set bad examples for my young guys. So, my main thing was just try to get the guys ready for the games.
Hey, Mike, you were the number 2 pick back in the day for the Grizzlies. Ja Morant, number 2 pick for the Grizzlies. How do you like what you see from this young kid?
Man, he's playing miraculous. His athleticism is amazing. Like the things he's doing, I think is great. And like I said, he got put in the right situation. He got put with a young team, and they're looking for a leader for that team, and I think he fits right in. So I think it's the perfect, the pick. You always go through. I always tell them, like, you never know how these guys are going to turn out until they get to the team. And it was different. Vince Carter, they needed a star. He was athletic. Was a half man, half amazing. He went out there and, carried the Raptors on his back, and they needed excitement at that time, and he rose to the occasion. I think that's what Ja's doing. They need a leader for a team that haven't, made the playoffs in a while, and he's that guy.
Speaking of leaders, you were a leader in a lot of those Kings-Lakers rivalries back in the day. I was wondering if you had any memories of those rivalries, maybe any Kobe stories?
Yeah, I know. I remember playing against, I think Shaq is probably, the biggest, most dominant player that I've seen in the game when I was playing. And, playing against Kobe, probably the top 3 or 4 players that ever played the game. It was just fun to go against those guys so I could tell my kids, hey, I played against those guys. And, that's all that really matters. But my main thing was going into L.A. I loved playing in L.A. The fans hated me. I probably hated them. But, it was just all in fun. I think that the land brought the best out of me because I always went out there and tried to have a good time with my team and just win.
You were part of some pretty cool moments, even when you weren't involved. Let's talk about Linsanity for a second, because you were there during that weird moment in the NBA where everyone stopped and just looked at this unknown guy, Jeremy Lin. Tell us what it was like to be on the Linsanity New York Knicks team.
It was crazy because, you had 2 dinosaurs, prehistoric dinosaurs, and me and Baron Davis there. He's hurt, I'm hurt, and we really didn't have any point guards at the time. And I remember they were thinking about sending Jeremy Lin home, and we didn't have any point guards. And when he came out and had those amazing, 8 games, they had to keep him. And I was proud they did that, give a guy a chance. A lot of these guys that don't play really just need a chance. And, I'm glad he got that chance to go out there and show that he could play the game. And, it was just ridiculous the way it happened. I always tell somebody it was like the angels in the outfield because the way like you'd watch the ball go, like the ball would hit the rim. Like he used to get roughed up. You know what I mean? They used to rough him up, you know what I mean, because he's a new kid or whatever. But like some of the shots he was doing and the moves he was making and the ball going in, it was like just amazing to see.
And I can't believe it was only 8 games. Like, it was a matter of 2 weeks, but it felt so long.
Yeah.
It did feel long. It did feel long. I look back at it now, I was like, dang, that was only 8 games. He probably had one of the best 8 games in NBA history. So,
Right.
I mean, it's just amazing. You look at it back, he'll always be in the record books.
Hey, speaking of 8, you've been retired 8 years now. About 8 years, and you're still jacked. You're still ripped. So my question is, how do you stay in shape? What's the secret here?
I mean, I've always lifted, even when I was playing. You know, it was frowned upon to lift heavy when you play basketball. And I've always remember the trainers and everybody coming to me every summer and saying, like, Mike, you can't lift like that. You look like a linebacker. So I'd always have to tone down my weights when I was during the season and stuff. But, you know, I mean, as of now, I have nothing else but to lift weights. I stay in the gym. I work out 5 days a week. I'm probably in the weight room probably 4 hours. I get there like 8:30, leave 1. So I mean, I'm working out and I work hard. You know, I've always worked hard my whole life, and I mean, I'd rather be at the gym than I mean, they're gonna say something about you regardless. Now, if I was to get overweight and out of shape, then be like, oh, look at him now. Now you go the other way. Now look at him now. So you can't win either way. So I try to just block people out and just do what I got to do.
Well, listen, man, you're playing now, so tell people where you're playing now and where they can check you out, because I think it's cool to see some of our favorite dudes back in action.
Yeah, I mean, we're playing for the 5 tournament. It's a 3-on-3 tournament out here in Vegas. We got quarantine. It's on pay-per-view. Just go to pay-per-view and you can buy by the game. The championship's coming up. We got a battle for hoop quality tonight. We got some former WNBA players playing against some of the NBA players tonight. I'm coaching against, I think, the Michael Jordan of the WNBA, and Cynthia Cooper is coaching the other team. And I just out of respect when to go out there. I know she's gonna have the fire in her, and it's just gonna be fun to see the guys go against the women.
Nice, man. Well, listen, we always loved watching you, and we're gonna check you out when you do this 5 tournament, man. We'll be checking you out, and thanks for being on the show, man.
All right, thank you for having me, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.